Good morning. Well, it's good morning for me. Yeah, it's morning still. I am in Las Vegas, of all places. I thought I'd check in, say hello to everyone. Some FSU notes happened yesterday and the day before, and I didn't want to not talk about it. So I thought I'd do a quick check in and get my opinions on it. I had Bibby Dukes on the other night, and he was awesome. He had a blast, he told me. It was great having him. If you're watching this, thank you again for coming on. But yeah, I'm in Vegas right now. I'm vlogging out here for a couple days, and you'll see where I'm going to after that. And so I want to wish everyone a happy holidays. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm sorry for doing that. I'm not that pretentious. Um, but yeah, let's just get to a couple topics. Bibby and I talked about one of them, James Williams, because he committed right before we were talking the other night, and I'm thrilled about that pickup. Not just because he's a really talented player, seems to be like a really really good dude, really serious and intense, like someone who he's one of those guys you better follow his lead or you're gonna get left behind. Like somebody we need like that after the year we just had. Um, but obviously he came from Nebraska, where he played for Tony White, Terrence Knight, and Evan Cooper too. Um, And when you see his face when you ask him about Terrence Knight, and I mean, you just see that, like, he wouldn't be at Florida State if it wasn't for those guys. Like, that's how special those guys are to him. Um, and when he did that tweet the other night, go no, he said, I think it was Tallahassee. I think it was Tallahassee, but the important part was he said, "I'm home," and that was so cool to me because it just I don't know. It just says that, like, I'm sorry. Whoa, sorry about that. So it just says to me, um, like with those guys, man, they create that home atmosphere when you're with them, and that it's family. Not saying Fuller didn't care about the guys. Not saying he didn't do that. Not saying any of those guys who aren't here anymore did. But just as the guys you just want to play for. That's the impression I got. So I was stoked about that. And then right after we got off the air, we found out about Gunnar Hansen. It was a guy we talked about, Bibby and I. Sorry, I just felt like putting that. Um, Sorry. Yeah, so sorry. I am sorry for that. That is the tackle from Vanderbilt, who I am stoked to have. He's nasty. He's good. He's a South Florida guy. Not saying that it's the deal breaker, but obviously he wanted to come home. And we got him pretty much right after Herb Hand spoke to the media. So Herb Hand is working real quick. And I'm happy about that. And when's the last time we said, man, we just got a tackle who can play? It's been like that position for us, along with quarterback, obviously. I know we got Luke last year, and we're not going to get into Luke much. He's at Mississippi State now. I wish him the best. I wish it could have been handled a little better on the way out from his dad, but I don't hold him responsible for that. I mean, that would be petty of me. So it is what it is. Luke, I don't think Luke's guaranteed a job at Mississippi State next year. I know I said I wouldn't talk about him, but oh well. I don't think he's guaranteed a job at Mississippi State next year. I don't know what they're paying him. I do think money was a factor. I don't care what they say. It obviously was a factor. I'm not saying it was the be all end all. But I heard Mississippi State is a pretty good true freshman coming in. And that kid's just not going to take a back seat. So we'll see. So yeah, we talked about James Williams, Gunnar Hansen. Let's talk about Patrick Payton going to the portal, because Bibby and I talked about that. Everything we talked about, a lot of it, Bibby Dukes and I seemed to come to full circle either right after we talked or the day after. Excuse me. So I told him I thought Payton was going to the portal. He thought Payton was staying. Obviously, there was heavy discussion both ways, because Pat waited a little while to make a decision. I know he had time to do it. He didn't do it like late. Hey, those of you coming into the chat, welcome. Got any thoughts on Florida State football or anything. I don't care. Playoff talk this weekend. Let's do it. I got some time. It's about 8 in the morning where I'm at. I think it's 11 on the East Coast. I'm off to go do some vlogging today in Vegas. Um, yeah, I did something cool last night. I want you to check out the vlog for that one. I thought it was cool. Hopefully YouTube doesn't. Oh, never mind. Anyway, what was I saying? So Pat Payton hit the portal. Not surprised. I don't think he came in and obviously asked for a raise. I'd have been surprised if he did. And I don't like to get into NIL talk because we don't know the numbers. We don't know the negotiations that take place in any way. All you hear at the most is Battle's End saying, we're proud to announce this player is a member of the Battle's End. That's all you know. Yes, some schools are saying it a little, like Dylan Stewart announced he's staying in South Carolina, re-signed or something, but we don't know what he's making either. It's just a crazy time. At some point, they're going to have a little more transparency. I know how people say they like that they don't know, but then think about it. Like, you're asked as a fan, for example, to donate to the Battle's End, but you have no idea what player that money's going to, how much. You don't know anything. That makes me wonder. I trust them. I know they're doing the right thing. I just say I wonder. So yeah, back to Payton. I don't think he was a fit with this scheme. Possibly. Maybe Mike told him, "Man, I saw your attitude last year on the field. We might have gotten your replacement the day before. I mean, that might have been it. The sign for Pat. I understand you need 2 defensive ends. They might have said, we're not going to pay you what we paid you last year. And like I said, I don't know how these deals work. I don't know if it's 2-year deals, 3-year deals, 1-year deals. They might have said, we're not going to pay you that. He might say, I can go to LSU and get a bigger bag. Who knows? He's got to do what's best for him. But I'm not going to say anything bad about Pat Payton. I think he played his tail off for us. Maybe, yeah, this year at times he did maybe not give 100%. But in a 2-10 season, things are going to happen. So I don't really hold a ton of this season against him. Very talented player. I think he's smart to go in the portal and not the NFL draft. I think he can really build his stock up somewhere else next year. And I wouldn't be surprised if next year we see him have a good year, a really good year, and help his draft stock. And of course, some Noel fans on Twitter will be like, oh, I can't believe we let him go. I can't believe we let him go. We don't know what the back channel conversations were. Because I know if we had brought him back, there would have been no fans saying the same thing of, not the same thing, but can't believe we brought him back. Can't believe we brought him back. So time will tell on that one. I'm curious to see where he ends up. Does he want to come closer to home, back to Miami? At the Tallahassee is the farthest in the world, 6-7 hours. But I'm just saying maybe he wants to play closer to home. He's going to have some big offers, I think. And he's only got to be there 5-6 months. So, yeah, I'm curious to see where Pat Payton ends up of all the guys in the portal. But I do wish him the best, man. I enjoyed watching him play. When his motor was going and when he was full go, he was fun to watch, man. I mean, he's got some speed. He's got some ability. He'll play the run. I mean, he does that well. So I'm curious about that. Yeah, so I'm in Vegas. Weather's perfect here. I think it's in the 50s, 40s. I'm glad to be able to wear a hoodie. I never get to wear them in South Florida. I got a cool tour planned today. You have to check out the vlog for that one. I got to promote the vlog a little bit. I see 3 of you are in here. If you just want to say hi, I'd love to know who you are, and so I can shout you out. And I think is that it? Nah. Got the playoff games this weekend. I'll talk more about that later. I think I'm gonna try to do a live stream tomorrow from where I'm at. But I'm in a pick'em contest for that. A friend of mine invited me to join in one, so I'm excited. The games are a little more interesting now. I'll talk about Notre Dame, Indiana, because that's tomorrow. I got Notre Dame winning. I think Notre Dame, since that second week of the season that they lost, played really well, quietly, really well. It's going to be interesting because it's 2 in-state teams. I'm curious to see how the crowd is there. I'm curious because a lot of times I don't know how many Indiana guys from each side are playing each other, because we always talk about that in Florida State, Miami, and Miami and Florida of, man, these guys know each other. I mean, it's serious then. No matter what the records are, they know each other. I don't know how that's going to be the case there. I really don't. But yeah, I got Notre Dame winning. But I'm not talking about the point spread. In the pick'em contest I'm in, there's no spreads. I feel like it's college game day then, and I always pick on game day for never doing a spread. But I think Notre Dame's, is it 16? No, I'm not sure the spread. Can't be 16. Let me check it out. Either way, I got Notre Dame winning. So, and then I'll talk about the other games tomorrow. I think that's it. Those of you who joined me here, thank you. Those of you who watch this later, if you watch this later, drop a comment. Let me know what you think about Florida State and the moves they've made and what you'd still like to see happen. If you want to talk about the coaching and what was I going to say? And I like the hires. There's some guys on staff that I'll admit I'm surprised they're there a little bit. But hey, Mike is coaching with a vengeance of, I have to make this year work. I have to make this year work. I'm giving $4.5 million to prove this year works. Now, he gets that money back if he's gone after this year. So it's a good gesture, but it's also very strategic too. So that's it for now. Thank you so much, and I appreciate the support. And I'll talk to you guys later.